Welcome back, my friends. I am starting this vlog a little bit later than usual. It's just past 11 because I spent the entire morning just puttering around the apartment, getting ready to film. I had a ton of packages to wrap up for you because I'm still working on my closet clear out. If you have not seen my last video discussing selling a big chunk of my collection, or quite a few pieces from my collection, I should say, I will make sure to have that video linked up here for you, which, by the way, I have come to realize that it's one of my most favorite things. Gift giving is my love language. And while obviously I'm not gifting these pieces to you, even though, trust me, I would love nothing more than to be able to do that, I still feel like I am part of this journey of you gifting yourself. And I not only love the fact that these pieces get a new life and they get to be enjoyed, but it makes me so incredibly happy how excited some of you are being able to add these pieces to your collection. Honestly, your messages when you receive your pieces bring me more joy than how much joy I feel like I got out of these pieces when I first bought them. So a lot of the things have already gone out. I'm still packing up some pieces that I'm going to drop off at the post office later today. And I'm also going to go ahead and film a video for you because last week I had to miss an upload. I ended up taking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. I usually work both on Friday and Saturday, but I ended up taking it off because it was my 30th birthday on Friday, which was so much fun. I have to be honest with you, I not only had the best birthday, but also the most amazing summer, which I feel like this vlog is also going to be a last week of summer vlog because I'm actually going back to school next week. I can't believe it's almost September and it's really feeling like it. I mean, today actually it's really sunny and it's going to be quite warm, but the past few days were a lot colder. You can see the trees turning. There are a lot of leaves on the ground. So I'm definitely getting into the fall mood slowly, but very surely. I honestly have to tell you, I had the most incredible summer. I did not do anything extraordinary. I consciously chose not to go on any trips or plan anything just because I feel like I had so much going on this past year. I had so much to juggle with school, with work, with training for different races, with trying to maintain a social life, with having pie, that I really just wanted to take a minute to breathe and not have to worry about keeping my head above water. I did not want to plan anything. I did not want to have anything on my agenda. So just really being able to stay present was the most incredible thing, and not constantly worrying about what's next or what else I should be or could be doing, not worrying about FOMO and what other people are doing it just made me realize how grateful I am for what I already have. It really forced me to stay present and appreciate what's already in front of me. I just enjoyed the weather. I enjoyed catching up with friends. I enjoyed going to the gym and just really making the most of every single day. And I did not want to make this vlog very deep, but it was the most transformative summer, yet I really did not do anything groundbreaking, but I had the most amazing time. And my birthday was kind of similar. Instead of throwing one big birthday dinner or one big birthday party, which I am never a big fan of, I don't like having that much attention on me. And also felt like it would have been quite a lot of pressure because even though all of my friends know of each other, most of them are not very close. So I did not want to have to worry about making sure that everyone's having a good time, everyone has someone to talk to, even though all of my friends are adults and I believe they could fend for themselves. I feel like it would have been a lot of pressure for me to try to make sure that everyone is having a great time. And it probably would have meant that I would have not had that much of a good time. When I host something, whether it's something at my apartment or outside, I try to do my best to be a good host, and I did not want to have that pressure. So what I did instead is that I ended up going for different dinners with different groups of friends throughout the week, and it was just amazing. It was honestly a wonderful time, and I feel like I am ready to go back to school next week. It's going to be my second year of my psychology studies, and I've got, after this, one more to go. So 3 years in total before my master's, and I feel like it exactly the summer I needed. I would love to hear how your summer went. Did you go on vacation? Did you choose to do something else instead? Let me know in the comment section how your summer was and how you are preparing for the upcoming fall season. Today's vlog is going to be really nice, slow, and relaxing. I'm just going to be running errands and taking care of things these next few days that I know I probably will not have the bandwidth to prioritize once I'm back at school. So what we're going to be doing together, I do not want to bore you with all my chores, but there are a couple of things on the agenda that I thought you would like to join me for. So we're definitely going to go window shopping. I want to see what's new in stores for fall winter, just so I know what to plan for my upcoming content calendar. I would like to pass by Van Cleef because Pi's other dad, I bought him a Van Cleef Sweet Alhambra bracelet a few years ago, which he's been wearing every single day. And you may know this, or you may not. I feel like a lot of people don't know this, but the Van Cleef Alhambra line is not actually meant to be worn on a daily basis because they feature semi-precious gems, and those gems are quite delicate, so they can shrink, they change color if you expose them to an excess amount of water or moisture. These stones can fall out of their setting once they shrunk, so they are quite delicate pieces, and you either don't want to wear them on a daily basis, or at least you want to take them off before going to bed or before taking a shower, because as I mentioned, semi-precious gems are not created for daily wear. Or if you choose to wear them every single day, just keep in mind that at some point down the line, they might need a little bit of love and care. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I had dinner with him and we had a discussion about Van Cleef, and I said, if I have the chance to pass by Van Cleef, I'm very happy to drop off your bracelet and get some more insights on how much it would cost, how long it would take to have the stone replaced. And that means I also get to share with you everything you need to know about having Van Cleef pieces repaired. And I can also show you up close and personal what a bracelet looks like that has been worn on a daily basis for years. Thankfully, the stones are still intact, but they have definitely changed color quite a bit. So I thought that might be fun for us to do together. Finally, I ordered one of those punching things, those little gadgets that allow you to punch holes in your belt so I can resize my Hermès belts. Don't worry, I will not force you to sit through watching me do arts and crafts, but I will let you know how that goes so I can finally stop talking about having my Hermès belts resized. But most importantly, it's going to be all about what's new in fashion for the upcoming fall season. I cannot wait to see what the stores have in stock. We'll of course have a look to see what's new at Van Cleef too if you're already there, and I will share with you what the Van Cleef repair policy is, how much it costs to have your pieces repaired, how long it takes, and can they actually repair your Alhambra pieces if they need a little bit of a facelift. But if you would like to spend a few days with me really just enjoying the last week of summer and preparing to go into fall, especially when it comes to fashion, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on watching. Welcome back, my friends. It is a couple of days later, but I promise you, you have not missed out on much. I've just been busy editing and running errands. As I told you at the beginning of this vlog, this week was all about finishing up chores and running errands I normally would not find the time for, at least not when I'm in school. So it's just been a really busy but productive week. I am finally having a day that's filled with some more fun errands, still errands, but I thought you might want to join me for them. First thing on the agenda is passing by Pi's other dad's apartment and first of all seeing Pi, and then also picking up his Van Cleef bracelet. In case you were not aware, I don't think it's something that I ever really talked about, but we've not been together for a few years at this point, but we are still very close. It's a person that I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for. So we are still great friends, and that's why I offered to help him with his Van Cleef bracelet. And it's also something that I bought for him many years ago. So we're going to go ahead, pick that up, and then pass by Van Cleef and ask them about their repair service, how it works, how much it costs, and how long it takes. And then while we are out and about, I would also love to pass by Balenciaga of all places. Now, I have not bought anything from Balenciaga in many years at this point, partially because of the scandal that they were involved in, and then also because I was not the biggest fan of their creative direction for many years. Their street style inspired pieces were just not my cup of tea, but they came out with the Rodeo bag a couple of years ago, and it's one that I have been looking at for at least a year. I'm pretty sure I first looked at that bag in London at the end of July last year, and I have not been able to get it out of my head. I mean, I wasn't so much in love with it that I had to immediately add it to my collection, but I got an email yesterday that for this upcoming season, they are doing it in suede in the largest size, which, you know me as suede bags. I don't think I have many of them in my collection. In fact, do I even have any really high-end designer suede bags? I don't even think I do, but I just love suede pieces. And it's a bag that I really want to go have and look at for myself, especially with me going back to school next week. I thought it would be the perfect new school bag to have in my collection, but I'm not sure if I want to spend, I think it's close to $6,000. I'm not sure how much it would be in euros, but I know in dollars it's just under $6,000. I'm not sure if I want to spend that much money at Balenciaga and support them with that much money, and also spend that much money on a suede bag that's so delicate, because it just really doesn't suit my lifestyle. I bike most places, and as you know, if you watch my vlogs, most vlogs, I start with a weather update. Speaking of which, it is a little bit cooler today and gray. I think it is supposed to be raining, which is the real issue. Amsterdam is notorious for having unbelievably unpredictable weather. One minute it can be beautiful and sunny, and the next you might be stuck in a thunderstorm. And because I bike most places, yes, I do have an e-bike, but I'm still exposed to the elements. And so buying bags that are delicate, things that you have to baby, just don't suit my lifestyle. I don't have the bandwidth, the capacity, or even the want to have to worry about my bags. I want something that I can chuck on my bike. It's still a beautiful bag that adds a value to my collection, something that is beautifully crafted and elevates an outfit, but something that I don't have to constantly worry about carrying and what happens if I get some rain on it. I'm not made of sugar. I know I'm going to be fine, and I want the same for my bags. I don't want something that is way too delicate, and sadly, most suede bags are just inherently delicate and can be quite fragile. So it's something that I do want to think about. And then there's, of course, the Prada Bunny bag, which I've also been considering, which is also available in suede, and now it comes in 2 different shades of suede. When I first looked at it, there was only 1 shade of suede. Now there are 2 different shades of brown, and I think it's close to half price of the Balenciaga one. We might also stop by Loewe to see what's new. So we're gonna go on a little school bag shopping spree. Well, not really shopping spree, more of a hunt. Let's go on an adventure and see if we find any new bags that would be suitable for my lifestyle, something that is large enough for me to carry all my bits that I need at school, also all my gym stuff, because usually I will tie going to school together with going to the gym. I will not go back and forth. So I definitely need a larger bag that fits my laptop, that fits a water bottle, and also fits a change of clothes and my toiletries. So there are quite a few requirements that this new bag needs to meet. And I would also love it to be in suede, because I don't think there's anything quite as fall appropriate as a beautiful, deep, dark, rich suede bag. But yes, Balenciaga is on our agenda, so is Van Cleef. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was going to tell you about, anything specific that I want to see. Not that I can think of. Maybe we'll also look at Dior. I have not been to Dior in ages either. So let's just see what's new in stores for fall winter. Then I'm going to the gym, as you can tell. And if you're wondering, is this how you're going to go shopping? Yes. A couple of years ago, I would have never dreamt of going shopping or window shopping in my gym attire. I probably would have made a real effort to wear my best attire. If I was going to a specific store, I would have made sure that I was wearing pieces from that specific brand. But I'm all about being practical these days. And since I am genuinely going to the gym afterwards and then I'm also going to dinner afterwards, I don't want to have 3 different outfits with me. So I'm going to pick up Pi's other dad's bracelet. Then we're going to Van Cleef, Balenciaga, maybe Dior, maybe Loewe. Then I'm going to the gym. And then I have one of my last birthday dinners. Even though my birthday was almost a week ago at this point, I'm very grateful that my friends are still wanting to celebrate with me. And we're actually going back to one of the restaurants that I went to last week, Williams Farmhouse, which is a new restaurant, I'm pretty sure. I actually went the week it first opened, which I want to say was last winter. I've not been, I think I've only been back 2 or 3 times, but I love the food there. It is a British inspired restaurant and the menu is incredibly concise. But most of the things I cannot try, sadly, because most of them are fish or seafood dishes and I don't eat either. The only meat I eat is either chicken breast, which I eat a lot of, or very, very lean steaks. So something along the lines of a filet mignon. But I do love the steak that they do. So if you're looking for a new restaurant recommendation, William Farmhouse, I have really been enjoying. They also do a Sunday roast, which I love the idea of a Sunday roast, but I really don't like any of the dishes that are served during a roast. So sadly, it's not something that I would try, even though I love the idea of having and starting your Sunday with something so hearty and so cozy. And then they also do an afternoon tea on Wednesdays, which again, I love my tea. If you have been with me for a while, you know that I don't drink coffee. I start every morning with black tea and milk, and I'm very, very picky with what kind of tea I will drink, but my day doesn't start until I have a pot of tea. So I love afternoon tea and I also love scones, but I don't really like any of the other bits that are involved in a proper afternoon tea. I don't like finger sandwiches. I don't like any of the little cakes. So yeah, it's not something that I would try. But if you're into afternoon tea and just a really beautiful ambiance and really delicious food, that is a restaurant that I would recommend. I don't think there are many great restaurants in Amsterdam. There are many decent restaurants, but there aren't many great ones. But that is definitely one that I would highly recommend. But just keep in mind that the menu is extremely concise. So maybe have a look at it first just to make sure that you can find something that will suit your taste. But that is it. That's all I have on the agenda today. I should get going before the sky breaks and it starts pouring. So let's go ahead and see what's new in stores for fall. Good morning, my friends. It's actually the following day. I'm checking in with you bright and early because I did not have a chance to debrief you yesterday. after I was done window shopping. I had to rush to the gym, and then I had a dinner right after. So I figured before I head to the gym today, I could debrief you on everything that we saw yesterday. I am going to pull up some pictures and share with you some of the stand-up pieces that I thought you would enjoy knowing about. Some beautiful, noteworthy new luxury launches. But let's start with Van Cleef. What happened at Van Cleef? So as I told you yesterday, I was supposed to stop by Pi's other dad's apartment to pick up his piece. I called him as I was leaving my apartment, and he forgot that I was supposed to be stopping by, so I never had the chance to pick up his sweet Alhambra bracelet. But I'm going to ask him to take some pictures, maybe even a video, just so you can see what condition it's currently in after it was worn on a daily basis for almost, I want to say 6 or 7 years. So this is the kind of wear and tear you can expect to see on a carnelian stone, because each and every single stone is going to be slightly different. Some are more delicate than others. If you would like me to do a deep dive, essentially a guide to the different semi-precious stones that Van Cleef uses in that Alhambra collection, let me know in the comment section, and we can definitely do a comparison video sharing the pros and cons of each and every single stone. But carnelian, while it's not known for shrinking, it is known for changing color if you expose it to too much water and just moisture, things like fragrance, body lotion, and if you're not going to take them off for taking a shower, you know, it is going to change color. So what I was told is that it's not an issue. Stones can easily be replaced. And when it comes to this particular piece, this design and this stone, it would take some time between 6 to 8 weeks for the stone to be replaced. It's something that would be done at the brand's workshop in France, and it would cost 160 euros. If he decides to move ahead with this replacement, I will keep you posted, and maybe I can ask him if it would be possible for me to share with you a before and after. I doubt that he would mind. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to say, but that's what I was told at Van Cleef. And since I was already there, I took some time to try on some other Alhambra pieces, which, you know, I think the Alhambra collection is beautiful. I recently talked about my thoughts on the entire Maison, everything that Van Cleef has to offer, which I can make sure to link up here for you. I do like the look of the Alhambra collection. Personally, on me, it is a little bit too feminine. I have purchased pieces for myself as well from the Alhambra collection, and they just simply don't work for me. It's not my cup of tea personally. To me, it has always had this ladies who lunch aesthetic. I don't think these pieces are nearly as universally flattering as people believe them to be. I think these can look extremely out of place on some people, but to each their own. If it's an aesthetic that you appreciate and like, more power to you, you go for it. But I tried on several different pieces, including the vintage Alhambra. I tried it on in the guilloche, I believe it's called, the guilloche finish, which has this beautiful sun ray effect. And then I also tried it with the pavé diamond finish. And the reason I chose to try on these two finishes instead of the different stones is because these are the kind of things, these are the finishes that you can wear on a regular basis without you having to worry about the stones changing color. Even though the guilloche is known for tarnishing, I think there was some controversy going on with this particular piece on TikTok. I'm not a user of TikTok, so I don't exactly know what happened, but I know some people have had issues with the piece tarnishing. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. But if you want something that you can wear on a regular basis and you don't have to take it off when taking a shower or when going to the beach or the pool, the one with the pavé diamonds is of course the best one, the most hard wearing, that you really don't have to worry about. And then they also do the sweet Alhambra either with a single, which, if you're not aware, sweet Alhambra and vintage Alhambra, the only difference is the size of the little clovers. So the sweet Alhambra, which is the smaller out of the two, either comes with a single medallion or you can find it with 6 medallions with a pavé finish exclusively in white gold, which I feel like if I was to buy a piece at this point, that's the one I would go for. Again, it's way too feminine for my liking, but out of all the pieces that I saw, that was my favorite. And then I also wanted to try some of the, I think they're called the Between the Fingers rings from Van Cleef, which is something that they've been offering for decades. They pretty much have one of these designs in every single collection, or I should say one of these types of rings in every single collection, where the idea is that these rings would spread across several fingers. Most of them will cover 2 fingers, but they also have some that will run across pretty much your entire hand. These rings are quite feminine, but I never had a chance to try them, so I wanted to just have a closer look mainly for you guys. There is a piece in the Alhambra collection where you get 2 clovers. That's my least favorite. To me, that particular piece looks really flat and kind of cheap looking. But one that I was blown away by was the one with butterflies, which was just breathtaking. It comes in a huge array of different colors and stones. The one that I tried on was with white diamonds and sapphires. There are several different sapphire colors that it comes with, but my favorite detail on this ring is truly the craftsmanship. I think it's just exquisitely made, and I also love the fact that the body of the butterfly is made up of a single marquee cut diamond, which is just truly show-stopping. I think this particular piece with these stones was around 30,000 euros, something along those lines, but you can also find it with similar semi-precious stones, set with similar semi-precious stones as the Alhambra collection, so you have plenty to choose from. A piece that I did not try on from the Between the Fingers, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's a long, not very imaginative name, but I think it's called the Between the Finger collection. There are several actually in the Lotus collection, which is truly breathtaking. I don't think I have ever talked about the Lotus collection. I don't know if you would be interested. Maybe we could do a similar video on Van Cleef as I did on a Cartier. I recently did a Cartier video ranking every single noteworthy collection. Maybe we should do one on Van Cleef too, but they have a Lotus collection, and my most favorite pieces in that particular line are the Between Finger rings, and they have ones where you have these beautiful lotus flowers wrapped around your fingers with the most gorgeous little leaves and petals. So that is another collection I would highly encourage you to look into if you are a Van Cleef fan. I can't believe I almost forgot. I ordered a fragrance from Van Cleef, not directly from Van Cleef. Online, I ordered a fragrance after I got home, which is from this collection that is called the Collection Extraordinaire. I don't know if this is a fragrance line that you were familiar with from Van Cleef. They do have several fragrances, but they have this range of beautiful fragrances, which I can't believe I've never tried. I'm pretty sure I had seen these around, but I've never actually smelled them for myself. It took me a little bit of time to be able to talk to someone at Van Cleef. So while I was waiting, I smelled every single one of them. And I have to be honest with you, I'm extremely picky when it comes to fragrances. My first job out of college was in fragrance development. So I know quite a lot about the behind the scenes of creating fragrances. And so I'm extremely picky, but there wasn't a single scent that I didn't like. I don't think I would wear most of them, but there wasn't a single one where I was like, keep this away from me. But one that I just ordered last night is the incense scent. I think it's called Incense Precious. Precious Incense, of course, it's in French. And it is number 602 4LB. And it reminded me of one of my ultimate holy grail fragrances, which is By the Fireplace from Margiela. It's a fragrance I've been wearing since I was in college. It's one of the very first fragrances that I bought from Sephora for myself as an adult, alongside Elizabeth James Bourbon, I think it was called, which was the Olsen twins' first brand. It's no longer around, but those two were my signature scents for years. And By the Fireplace, I still wear every single fall winter. And this new incense scent reminded me of that, except it was slightly darker, slightly more woodsy and incensey. And what's interesting is that I can still smell it on my wrist, even though I took a shower last night and I also obviously got ready this morning. I took a proper shower and I can still smell the scent, which tells you that it's something that I'm going to adore, because I love the kind of fragrances that wear you and you don't really wear them. I mean, I think it is a fine line, but I love a fragrance that enters the room before I do. I love hugging someone and leaving a little bit of my scent on them. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but this particular scent is extremely powerful and I thought it was really reasonably priced. I think I paid 185 euros for it. I did not buy it directly from Van Cleef. I don't know if there's a price difference, but online that's how much it cost. I really like this one, and they also have a Santal scent that was beautiful. Those are the two that I remember. They also had one with almonds. I wish it was a little bit more sweet almondy, a little bit more macaron-like, but they had one which I think was called Bois d'Amande that I also really enjoyed. It was warm, it was cozy, but it should have been a little bit warmer for me personally. So that's something else that I discovered at Van Cleef. And then next up, we went to Balenciaga. Now, I'm going to put this out there. I am by no means encouraging you to shop at Balenciaga if it's not something that you feel comfortable with. After the whole scandal, I'm not sure if I'm going to be buying anything, but their Rodeo bag is something I have been enamored with for over a year at this point. They continue to come out with this bag in different colors, sizes, leathers, and finishes. And it's one I cannot stop thinking about. It is very much inspired by the Kelly bag. No matter what anyone says, it's very clearly inspired by that, but it feels a lot more casual, a lot more laid back, a lot more effortless. It's easier to get hold of. It is not quite as expensive, so you don't have to baby it. And I really love it in really every single size, but my favorite is the large size. And the reason I went to Balenciaga is to try this bag on in suede, which is the latest texture that is available for fall winter. In the medium size, it comes in two different colors, in either espresso or camel. I tried it on in espresso. They also had the camel version, but they asked me not to take pictures of it because it was on hold for a client and it was fully wrapped up with all these protective layers, and they said that you're not allowed to take pictures or videos with pieces being wrapped up. So they offered to remove the wrapping, but I asked them not to because obviously it was going directly to a client and I wanted them to have that experience of a brand new bag being revealed in front of them and unwrapped. So I told them that it's not necessary. I can put in some pictures here, but I love the espresso color, and this color is also available in the largest size of the Rodeo bag, which if I was to buy one, that's the one I would go for. But I also tried on the Bel Air bag, which by the way, it shouldn't be called the Rodeo bag. I am mispronouncing it here. It is called the Rodeo bag because it's inspired by Rodeo Drive. And then they have the Bel Air bag, which came shortly after, and it was inspired by the success of the Rodeo bag. And it is essentially a more simple open style tote bag take on it. And because I would carry this bag as a gym bag slash school bag, I really like the fact that it is completely open because it makes it so much easier for you to pack this bag. It comes in several different sizes. I tried the large size, and apparently it also comes in an extra large, which they did not have in stock, but they told me it was essentially a duffel bag. So it might be a little bit too big for what I'm looking for. But I loved the Bel Air bag too. It has all these different compartments. You have similar sangles to the Birkin. You also have a twist closure. But I have to be honest with you, I love both of these designs. And I love that the Rodeo bag comes in several different iterations. You not only have the original Rodeo, but they also do a wallet on chain. They also have this beautiful tiny little shoulder piece, which is very reminiscent of the Prada Renylon bag, but with the iconography and the DNA of the Rodeo bag. They also have a little vanity case, which is very much reminiscent of the Kelly pochette. There are so many incredible creations in this collection, and if you love the idea of the twist closure, but you're looking for something a little bit more contemporary and a little bit more effortless, it's not a bad collection to consider. I thought that some of the pieces were quite reasonably priced, but again, I am by no means telling you to support Balenciaga. You have to make up your own mind and decide how you feel. But when it comes to just talking about the designs for what they are, I really do appreciate them. And I think they did a phenomenal job with every single one of these bags. Speaking of bags, I also passed by Loewe and I had a chance to try on their new Madrid bag, which was a runway piece that launched, I think it wasn't late last year. It walked the runway late last year, but I think it launched earlier this year and it was a huge success. I think it sold out almost immediately, and we are now on the second wave of the Madrid bag. And the idea is that it's these archival inspired creations that you can wear a ton of different ways. You can wear these pieces as a shoulder bag, as a crossbody bag. You can carry them as a handbag. It comes with all these different attachments. And I have to be honest with you, at first I was not a fan of this bag, especially because it was exclusively available in smooth leather, but they have just launched it in grain Spanish calfskin. I'm pretty sure that's what the lady said at Loewe, that it's grain Spanish calfskin. And I felt that the bag looked a lot more substantial, a lot more modern. And it's a bag that's available in 3 different sizes. It comes with all these gadgets and attachments just so you can carry it multiple different ways. And I have to be honest, trying it on, it is growing on me. I really liked it in this beautiful taupe color. If I was to get this bag, I would get it in the largest size, and I would either carry it as a shoulder bag or as a crossbody bag. The largest size is still not that large, although it does feel a lot bigger in grain calfskin compared to smooth calfskin, just because you get more body to the bag. But I think she told me that the largest size was around 33 centimeters. So it's not a huge bag, but if you're looking for a work bag, I have to be honest with you, I don't know why I keep saying this, not that I'm not honest with you always, but it is something that I was really surprised by how much I liked trying it on in person. So sometimes it's good to venture out and really try things on in person. You know, of course, it's so much more convenient to buy things online, but you get to have these experiences and you're able to talk to people, which I still very much appreciate. So this is a bag that I really, really enjoyed. Not enough to pull the trigger, but as I said, it comes in 3 different sizes, and my favorite was the one in grained leather. And then they also had this new Loewe puzzle bag, which I think is called the Biker. It is one of J.W. Anderson's last collections at Loewe, and then the duo from Pranza is going to be taking over Loewe's creative direction, which I'm so incredibly excited for. Not only because Loewe has become quite predictable and quite, you know, J.W. Anderson did a phenomenal job with reviving the brand and putting them back on the luxury map. I think what he did with Loewe has to be admired and respected. It's phenomenal, but I'm excited for some fresh blood, and the Pranza duo is someone that I went to the same college with. So I have a lot of respect and admiration for them too, and I'm extremely excited to see what they are going to turn Loewe into, because they have a very different, more modern, more stripped down approach than JW does. But speaking of JW Anderson, next up was Dior. I told you I wanted to go to Dior because I had not been to Dior in ages, which is really shocking considering that it used to be one of my favorite ready-to-wear brands. I used to be there all the time. In fact, when I stopped by this time, so many people were like, hey, we haven't seen you in so long. It was so nice to see some familiar faces, even though a lot of people that I at one point worked with are no longer at Dior. Someone had a baby, some people have left, some other people are leaving, but I was very happy to be back, stop by, have a quick browse, and I wanted to ask about J.W. Anderson's debut collection launching. What they told me is that the men's ready-to-wear collection should be coming out early next year. Pre-order has not started, at least in Amsterdam. What they told me is that pre-order has not started for ready-to-wear. For bags, I'm pretty sure that it started and already closed at this point. But thankfully, I have no interest in buying any Dior bags, but I would be interested in looking at the lookbook for the upcoming men's runway collection. And I was hoping to see some of the runway pieces from Kim Jones's last collection, which is now in stores. There was one, not cardigan, I think it's more of a blazer that I was hoping to see. It's a cropped cardigan, but that was not in store yet. And then something that you're gonna think I'm crazy to want, not even to want, but to even ask about. On the runway, they had these eye masks that are made of silk. I was sent a video on how these masks were handcrafted, which was truly breathtaking. I fell in love with it. And then they had one of these masks in the window. And what I was told initially is that it's actually for sale. And had it been a pair of sunglasses, or what I thought is that when this piece, or if this piece makes it into production, they're going to make it a little bit more user-friendly, in that they would probably put this ribbon on a frame that would allow you to just slip them on as you would a pair of sunglasses. But what they told me is that it's actually just a really simple piece of ribbon that you have to tie every single time. I still wanted to know the price. I probably would have not bought it. Well, it would have depended on the price because I know that it's not something I would have been able to wear. It kind of reminds me of a very fancy take on a Ninja Turtle. Anyway, I did ask about this piece. I wanted to know the price and if it's actually for sale. What they initially told me when I was there that it should be for sale, but I just got a text this morning that it turns out that it's not. They had to ask management because they could not find a price when I was there, but they checked this morning and sadly it's not for sale, which is kind of expected. And especially now knowing that it's genuinely just one single piece of ribbon that has to be tied every single time, which I can barely tie a tie, let alone an eye mask, but I am obsessed with this eye mask. If there was a way for me to get my hands on these, this is the one collector's piece that I would really be interested in. And then last but not least, I just had to show you this one piece, which is the Lady Dior in the Himalaya finish. They actually call it Himalaya. Now, what's different about a Lady Dior Himalaya compared to an Hermès Himalaya is that Hermès Himalaya is made of croc. This is made of alligator. And what made this particular Himalaya Lady Dior special is that the Dior charms were wrapped in leather instead of them being encrusted with crystals. Most of their exotic bags back in the day were encrusted with crystals, which I really did not like. I feel like it cheapened the overall look of the bag, and these bags are anything but cheap. But what was most shocking about this is that the last time I saw this bag, I think it was in Düsseldorf during 2020, because I remember, did you have to make appointments to go to stores? No, I think not in Germany. You no longer had to make appointments. You could walk in, but there was a set capacity of how many people could be in stores because of everything that was going on in 2020 and 2021. Obviously, you do not need a reminder, but the last time I saw this particular bag, I remember asking for a price and it was under 20,000 euros, which, don't get me wrong, is an insane amount of money, but I think you'll be very surprised to hear that this bag now is 33,000 euros. So this bag in a matter of years has gone up over 10,000 euros in price, which is just mind-blowing. I'm pretty sure it was just around 20,000 the first time I saw it. Yeah, so there must have been at least a 10K price increase in a matter of years, which is mind-blowing. It's a very special bag, but I really was not impressed by the quality of the alligator. I do think that the best quality exotic leather you'll either find at Hermès. Sometimes it does depend on the piece of leather that you're buying. Each and every single bag is going to be slightly different. No two bags are identical because no two skins are identical, but one brand that should not be underestimated for genuine exotic skins is Celine. I always talk about this with a friend of mine who is a big Celine fan, that Celine's exotic leather, which you will not see too often unless you shop at a flagship, they also do embossed leathers. But if you're able to find a Celine bag in a genuine exotic skin, I think it is a quality that you will be really impressed by. This Dior bag, I would not recommend that anyone spends 33K on it, but it was a special piece that I had to share with you. And this was my little shopping adventure yesterday. I really appreciate you joining me and coming along. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about these pieces. Was there a standout for you? Is there something that you're also considering adding to your collection? Is there something else that recently piqued your interest? I would love to hear from you. And this was, I think, one of the last vlogs for a little while because, as I said, I am back to school next week. What I'm planning on doing is trying to continue uploading twice a week for as long as I possibly can. I don't know how long I'll be able to sustain it, but I'll do my best. Otherwise, we'll go back to uploading once a week on Sundays. And I am going to be on Amy and Kat's Luxury Live on the 13th of September. So if you usually watch Amy and Kat's Live, be sure to join us. We haven't discussed what the topic of our conversation is going to be. So if you have any requests, let us know in the comment section. If you follow Kat and Amy, I'm pretty sure that they will also ask for your feedback and your requests. But I would love to see you there and chat live. I think it's going to start 7 a.m. Paris time because of the time difference. Each and every single one of us lives in a different time zone, but I would love to see you there and get the chance to talk to you live. I mean, you will see me with another video until then, but maybe put that in your calendar if you would like to join us. I know that I would love to see you there. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And I will see you back here with a new video really, really soon. And I hope you enjoy this last week of summer.